Welcome engineers, today's have a problem, and today's problem is the Russian Grand Prix. One of the most boring Grand Prix as of late. Not been the most exciting track, but hopefully the game will bring more excitement as we are going to participate in today's episode. Instantly going to the Russian Grand Prix and just checking the message as the weather, and it looks like it's going to be sunny throughout, and it looks like there's news on next year's regulations. Not really anything we're going to look into because we're not going to be here for next season. So if there are new regulation changes, it won't affect us. But let's go to practice. Hopefully for Max Verstappen's sake they put wheels on that car. Anyway, you get the engine / ERS team objective, and we are doing the chain 5 corners in a row. Quite easy as well, as we go through sector 2 at Russia. Invalid lap, not really surprised, and a red. Going through the end of the lap though, able to get across the line with a green score. Not the best, so we're going to go ahead and try and get the purple on this second lap. So, as we come around the final corner, everything's been purple so far. Is that going to change? Nope. Low fuel as well on that lap because we actually set the lap and we didn't invalidate it. Doing the qualifying program now. Going through sector 1, do we achieve the first sector 1? Yes we do. I'm a little bit late on that. Too slow. I was. Coming through the final corner though, getting green a second up, and it's an easy lap target, and we achieve it and go beyond. First sector 3 and car setup, achieve objectives complete. A little wiggle of the wheel, and on the race strategy now, doing the first lap in standard, easily done. Second lap in lean, once again easily done, unlike Singapore where it weren't shown. I actually saw it this time. And the final one in rich, I've just realised I talk over Jeff all the time. Yeah, that will change, most likely for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I've already recorded up to Brazil, and yeah, I haven't put subtitles back on for myself. Doing the race strategy program again, this time with Sauce, and getting a little annoyed at Albon here, so we're going to go up the inside and get past him before we continue. As we continue, we go towards the end of the lap now, coming across the line in lean, once again easily done, and onto the final lap in rich the whole way. Do we set the correct time? Yeah we do. We go about 3 tenths quicker, and that's the purple done. End of practice then, and not too difficult, fairly easy, as we get the XP for the podium pass. I can tell you I'm at level 28 as I head into Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I'm going to be recorded 3rd of July on the morning, so got that to look forward to. Be edited on the Saturday and Monday, or maybe Sunday because of how things go. Well, we'll get back to that after this interview.
Who would you say is your biggest rival at the moment?
Do I have to choose one now? Just get it out of the way. I think they've been doing really well. You can see how hard that. Oh my god, that resonated in my ears. So yeah, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix will be out maybe next week. Depending on how quick I get these ones out. At the moment, I'm on the Friday evening, of the 2nd of July. Also voicing, Japan and USA. So they'll be out in the next couple of days. Got to export Brazil and Mexico from their editing, voice them, do the Abu Dhabi stuff, and then get that out. All of them, but of which will be out before the beginning of the next game. Checking over the engine components, making sure that we've got the least one heading into this Grand Prix. Wouldn't want to have the most one because that's pointless and doesn't help you at all. So in this case, it's the nose components of everything. Going off the back of Singapore, finally get to see the results of Italy P9. Going off Singapore P4 and a fast lap. Hopefully we can get close to that as we head towards upgrading the car. This should help us with engine power. Just checking when they come in. Downforce upgrade will come in for USA if we get it. So not too bad, and as it will help us in the first sector. Not enough resource points for anything else, although I am going to check the minor. Don't know why. Let's go to quali. And as you're watching this, don't forget, if you are enjoying this as much as I am, make sure to hit the like button. And if you think you're enjoying it more than I am, make sure to subscribe to enjoy the other videos. Anyway, plug out the way, do the second lap of qualifying. Not really needing to, but did it anyway. Solidly gets us through into Q2. And once again, getting more XP points for the podium pass. Hopefully the 7,000, not 100, Bitcoins that I have carry over to the next game and allow me to get the not the deluxe, VIP, very important player, not person. I'm a robot. Anyway, going through the second lap, going across the line in the soft tyres, going to third position ahead of Alexander Albon, but behind mediums, Mercedes. Yeah, I love the new F1 team. They're my favourite, mediums. I also love the new tyres, Mercedes. I'm going to try them out in this race. Oh dear, what's going on with me? One day off and I'm going loopy. Anyway, into Q3 then. Obviously, purple laps going to be setting everywhere. Lando sets it off with a 33.2. Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel goes a 32.0. And then shortly after, Merc of Bottas goes a 30.6. He seems to love this circuit. He's done quite well here when he's at Mercedes. We go across the line to set a 32.1, not too far behind them. Our second lap, not really of an improvement, but consistency is really important, so thought I'd show you that. And then going into Q3, our best lap and final lap as we go into Q3. Heading towards turn 1, opening DRS flap a little bit late, and hopefully that won't affect us too much as we go into turn 1, braking at the red line, going into the apex and hitting it nicely, not going over the orange curb into turn 2. Long left hand at turn 3, got to make sure those rear tyres hold on as we then brake in a straight line for turn 4 at the start of the curbing. heading towards turn 5 and then the end of sector 1 as we go 2.5 tenths up. Currently 3 tenths quicker than Kvyat in P6. Braking at the black board on the right, marshal board I should call it, on for turns 6 and 7 and 8, heading towards turn 9, braking just before the DRS detection line, and then going towards the main back straight into turn 11 and 12. We've got a Merc behind us, probably putting him off his lap, but I don't think he's setting one as we go into turn 1. We're ghosting, and it's Valtteri Bottas, as you would have seen, and yeah, not distracting at all. Going into the tricky left-hander is a little bit cambered, and it's also uphill, so it's not fun. Going 7 tenths up into the final 2 corners, we're going to go braking just as we pass the bridge, go across the final corner and across the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 31.3, whereas Bottas sets a 30.1, 30.0 I think. Going on our second lap, then caught up behind Lewis, and yeah, well, he knew that I held his teammate up, Bottas, so he held me up. Obviously not doing much, as like, yeah, I ruined Bottas's lap and he still got pole, but at the moment we put ourselves P4, and yeah, can't improve after Lando goes through us, so it looks like it's going to be P4 on the grid, which is not too bad considering that's where we finished in the Singapore Grand Prix. And if we had the pace to get a P4 in qualifying, we'll surely have the more than enough pace to at least get a P4 in the race. Checking our laps then, a 32.9 for both of us, a 31.5 for both of us, and pretty much a 36.8 in the middle sector. Well, I think we set identical final sectors, if I looked at that correctly. Comment down if that was correct, and comment your thoughts and opinions. Rivalry breakdown 2-1 to Ricardo already. Already looking good. Team claim 1 ahead of Jack Aitken, 3 behind the entire team, and yeah, not too bad, but
chance in the race.
I've just realised I've seen that 3 times today.
Welcome one and all to today's Grand Prix here in southern Russia. A beautiful location besides the Black Sea, and a race that has been dominated so far by the Silver Arrows. Mercedes have won here 6 times in a row since the first Sochi Grand Prix in 2014. Can someone else muscle in on that record here today? It's time to go racing then at the Sochi Autodrome, where the long run down to the heavy braking zone at turn 2 is one of 2 DRS zones around this 3.6 mile circuit. The other, of course, down into turn 13. 18 corners make up a lap here today, with an average speed somewhere in the region of 130 miles an hour. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. Why don't we discuss McLaren? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, the engineer, Carlos Sainz, and Vettel, Kvyat, Leclerc, Perez, and Daniel Ricciardo, Stroll, Ocon, George Russell, and Albon, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Jack Aitken, and Pierre Gasly. Norris, Giovinazzi, Latifi, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So it looks like it's going to be an easy P4 with Alexander Albon getting a penalty. And what I meant by I've seen that 3 times today is I was editing Mexico and Brazil today on my day off. And yeah, Jeff did the exact same thing in both of those. So that's 3 times I've seen it today. And yeah, I mean, it might be a 4th if he says it in Japan. You'll just have to wait and see. In a day or so, I'll have to wait, what, 20-30 minutes. Anyway, change strategy to our liking. Looks like it's going to be a stop lap 9 for mediums for about the rest of the race, for 2/3. Putting the race fuel load all the way down to 55 kilos, because in real life it's 110 for a 100% race. I'm doing a 50% race, and it only seems fair that I put the race fuel load at 50% to match. I'd put it at 27.5 for 25% races. Anyway, formation lap, and yeah, just warm up the tyres and brakes. Warm up the tyres and brakes.
We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of
Yeah, I don't know what Jeff's saying. I can't wait to find out what he says when I put on subtitles. Anyway, we're just forming the grid, and then I don't know why he has subtitles when we're not in the car. Like, you would have seen at the end of qualifying, he had subtitles. Why don't he have subtitles now? Anyway, let's say, why does he have subtitles then? Anyway, that's something for after the race. Put your thoughts of that in the comments. Anyway, waiting for everyone else to line up on the grid as we check who is left. I can't see that far. My eyes aren't that good. But as we get ready for the race, this is our highest position we have started all season. All career, I think. There's lights out and we are underway. We get almost a good start, quite equal to Lewis. But then we lose out a little bit and we get into his slipstream. Carlos Sainz trying to pressure us going into turn 1. We're going to brake early, go maybe around the outside of Lewis Hamilton. Going to go over the orange curb. Yeah, a little bit illegal. So we have to give the position back, making sure that we don't give Carlos an invitation we have. But we go into turn 4 and we make sure that we cut him off nice and easy. But we go a little bit wide into turn out of turn 4, pushing him all the way to the apex of turn 5, meaning that he has a small radius and can't go as fast into the corner. That allows us to get the P4 back, and now we've just got to consolidate this position and make sure that if anyone keeps coming at us, we just push him wide like we did to Carlos, because he lost the position. 1:36.3 from our dear Finnish friend. Going on to lap 3, he sets a 35.2, so quite a bit quicker. We set a 36.5, I think what he set on lap 1, which is always a little bit insulting. Going through the back straight on lap 3 then, there's only one thing that can happen. Checker gets a good run on us. He's going towards the inside. He's already too far ahead of us to make the dive bomb. We look at it, but we have to lock up and as we back out of it. And you would have seen from the pre-race preview, this is a steep hill and a steep decline afterwards. So that's why it's such a tricky corner, especially when you have ABS off. Heading towards lap 4, and then we're dropping a little bit off the back of Sergio Perez, maybe readjusting to the dirty air. You've seen obviously bite that lockup. Going towards turn 1, we have DRS now, we have the high ground. As we head towards turn 2 now, already gone past turn 1, little kink. Not quite close enough, so we're just going to have to wait, but we look at the dive bomb, we put Sergio Perez off, but I don't think that's close enough for us to take the position, as we also lose the back end a little bit. Going all the way through long left of 3, going through turn 4, we lose a little bit of warning as we go on to the back straight once again. Hopefully maybe we can do the exact same to him as what he did to us. where we're going to go. It's a little bit later on the straight, so it's going to have to be a diving move. Ooh, that was really close. He almost put us in the wall. Yeah, that was really sketchy. Yeah, I'm moving around, so I didn't actually see what was happening too much, but I saw that he almost put us in the wall. Just as sketchy as it was when we were actually driving. Anyway, heading towards turn 2 on the following lap. He defends inside. Thank you very much. Outside is my preferred position.
Nice move.
And all the way around the outside, and that is us back up into P4. Danny Kvyat back up into P6 after losing out to Checo on the first lap. Speaking of laps, lap 7 we are going on to now. Checo staying with us, as his teammate Lance Stroll now gets up into P6 as we go on to lap 8. Setting a 36.2, not too bad of a lap, but not the 35 of Valtteri Bottas. Going through turn 2, unfortunately we get a little bit of a track extension. Checking on the rival. Yeah, I just realised that's useless to me because I don't remember what it was, because I edited this over 3 weeks ago. Lap 9 then, already a third through the race, if I can speak. Going into pit lane then, not that extraordinary of a pit lane, just the standard inside of the circuit. Going through the pit lane then, making sure that we're in lean as we save as much fuel as we possibly can. Daniel Ricciardo then makes it, made it all the way to P7 before we came in, so from P10, so it's not too bad from him. A little bit of the slow, well, never mind. Okay, stop from the boys, 2.3. That's probably what record we're going to be seeing now in real F1 from the Hungarian GP. I wonder if they'll implement it into the F1 game where they can't go any faster than a certain time. Anyway, speaking of time, people as time goes on, so does people's tyre wear. More people come in. Vettel and Kvyat. I think it was nice. Lewis Hamilton came in, is now stuck behind Kevin Magnussen, so hopefully we can catch up to him. Maybe even overtake him, and maybe get a podium. As we closing round turn 3, it's 2 seconds to gap from me to Lewis to Kevin. And also, why? Oh, purple. Oh, we're going purple. Okay, that's why we're on board. Also, why is Vettel on hard? Like, mate, yeah, I get that we're doing double what we did on softs, but the tyre wear isn't that big around Russia as it is the other street circuits. By the way, this is a street circuit. It may not look it, but yeah, it's on the streets, but it's permanent. Like, these streets aren't used anymore. Kevin is now 2.6 seconds ahead of us, and Lewis is obviously being caught up, so that's allowing us to catch up to him. Already is half a second now, as it's 1.5 now to Kevin. Kevin stays out as our teammate Jack Aitken comes into pit lane, and we're coming across the final corner to set the fastest lap of a 1:34.8, which is an astonishing lap considering I was only doing 36 beforehand. Catching up to Lewis and Kevin then, can we get past any of these two to boost ourselves in the race? It looks like Lewis is getting past Kevin. Maybe we can follow Lewis through, follow his line, get past him as well. Getting past Kevin on the outside into this tricky corner. He's putting it all the way off the circuit. That is our fault for trying to go around the outside at that corner, as we got a little bit of oversteer heading out the corner beforehand and obviously losing ground. But yeah, still a little bit risky from Kevin putting us off the circuit. you could have clipped and we could have clipped his rear wheel at time and gave him a puncture, which wouldn't have mattered anyway because he was coming in, but still, it would have given him a puncture. Anyway, halfway through the race then, on to lap 15 once again. To reiterate, Belgium, Russia is boring. And going on to lap 16 then, we once again set in 36 because we don't have DRS of anyone in front. I don't get how I was able to set purple sector 1, I didn't have DRS of anyone. So yeah, a little bit odd. Sun went away, Sun came back, and going on to the final third of the race. Hopefully it's a little bit better than in previous 2/3. Not really, just a DRS failure. I just realised I've missed the transition from lap 18 to 19. I don't check these videos. I mean, I've checked from 17. 17. I checked from USA. Onto lap 21. Oh my god, what is with me today? Onto lap 29, and oh, I will enroll. Okay, that was a waste of time. Final quarter of the race then, and is it any no more exciting than the previous 2-3 quarters? Yes, there were 3 in quarters. There are 3 quarters to make 1 whole. Yeah, it's been a long day. It's 7:20 for me. That's not an excuse. I go to bed at 9 and wake up at 6. I mean, that's an excuse. I've been up 13 hours, but normally people are, so yeah. Lap 24 then. Just piling the laps as we go on to the final 3. So it's going to be pushing. Obviously not pushing enough because we've only set a 36.0. Well, that is pushing, but not as much as I was on the previous servers. Voucher bar sets a 34.4. If we could go 4 times quicker, we'd be able to beat that. Did you know? Setting a 35.5, and now we're going to go push all the way through this lap as he then sets a 34.2. Well done, Voucher Bias. Absolutely love this place. We're closing into max at the end. Obviously not enough, but we come across the line to set a 34.6. Wouldn't have been good enough anyway, but once again it is an astonishing result in this poor car, but we won't talk about the AI level. Well, I won't if you don't.
And with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Yeah, that yellow really goes well with the tiger orange.
Are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to improve our position from P4, but we were able to improve our gap to the top 3. Less than a pit stop behind them this time, but I mean that was obvious considering we started less than a pit stop behind them anyway. Whereas starting last, we started a pit stop behind them. Getting 100 XP per lap, which is really cool. The funny thing is, I think this only happens in 50% races, not even 100% races. So it allows us to get up a level onto level 16 instead of 14 at the beginning of this episode. P4, 4 turns off, Valtteri's fastest lap, so not too bad. Jack Aitken dropping to P20, Thank God I'm getting rid of... No, I'm not that mean. Thank God, at least for his sake, I'm going to 110 AI for next year's game. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm going to be firmly at the back. But, you know, I'm going to have an F2 teammate, which is going to help me because he'll be a little bit slower. So should be around my pace. You probably did, but I have no idea. Yeah, I am offended actually. Getting in the bin. I'd like to see them perform better. I need Ricardo to push me because he is my rival. And the only reason I didn't choose the rivals is because, yeah, this is not where we should be, but, you know, like I said, I won't talk about the AI if you don't. I mean, I am realising now that I am talking about the AI. Shush. Team acclaim then, and we almost get to level 10 on the driver claim, so maybe next episode. Level 12 on team, 1.04 mil to the bank, and some reason 50k damage. I don't know what I did, but that is going to be the end of the episode, mainly because I don't have time to do the admin, so that will be at the beginning of the Japanese Grand Prix. But if you did like this, please like, and if you like it more, then I am enjoying this, doing this reboot, then make sure to subscribe for the other episodes. Share it with friends because friends have common interests. But comment your thoughts and opinions, but until you racers have a problem that your engineers can't fix, I'm a racing engineer. Goodbye.